Welcome to the Artesyn Embedded Power Product and Solution Training Module for the AIF06 Power Factor Correction Module. This presentation will provide an overview of the AIF06 Power Supply Module and applications that Artesyn can provide. It will also address the challenges that are typically encountered with the features and specifications of the modular solution exhibited. Please note that when digital control or digital DC-DC is mentioned here, the definition is that the module or market referred to has the industry-standard PM bus interface. Artesyn's new AIF06 fulfills the function of providing power factor correction to its wide-range AC input and converting this input into a 400-volt DC output intended to be used as a power source directly or to provide power to downstream DC-DC converters. Its highly efficient power conversion function enables the unit to be rated at 2,400 watts at high line input or 1,400 watts at low line input. If 1 or 2 units are required, the module with a 01L suffix should be chosen. If your application needs higher power than 3, then AIF06 units can be placed in a power shared network, for which you would need the model with a 02L suffix. The module has a number of control and monitoring functions, not least the industry-standard PM bus communication interface, but also many analog measurement and control functions, including temperature and current monitoring, along with remote sense and enable functions. The AIF06 follows the industry-standard full brick dimensions of 4.6 inches by 2.4 inches, with a height of 1/4 inch. The mounting inserts provided in the module allow for either cold wall mounting or for a heatsink to be mounted to the unit by offering options of either clearance holes for an M3 screw or a threaded insert to accept an M3 screw. CAD files are available from the product webpage on artesyn.com. Specification improvements over Artesyn's previous generation PFC unit, named AIF04ZPFC, the AIF06 also exhibits higher power conversion efficiency, up to 97.35%, representing up to half the dissipated heat compared to the AIF04. Much tighter regulation and control of the output voltage, now to plus or minus 1% of the output voltage, and much more accurate current monitoring function, even from low current conditions of operation. The AIF06 is also easier to use and integrate into applications. The incorporation of the Inrush control circuitry within the unit eliminates the historical requirement for this function to be external to the module. Clearly, this reduces the space in an application required to implement such a module with the associated function, but also eliminates the possible single point of failure, which is the inline switching element that would provide such a function. This, along with the associated drive circuitry, means far less onus is placed upon the application. Furthermore, historically, when 2 units are used in parallel and using the current sharing function, external bridge diodes were always needed. This is now not the case with the AIF06. 2 of the 01L suffix units can be used in parallel without any external diodes being provided by the application. When the power of an application requires 3 or more AIF06 modules, then the 02L suffix unit is required. In this configuration, external bridge diodes to suit the input current must be provided. However, in such an application, the novel design of the unit allows for the AIF06 units to be placed in synchronized phase shift operation with the objective of providing the lowest possible EMI signature for the application. Both of Artesyn's PFC modules share exactly the same footprint. The size and relative pin locations are all shared between the modules, which, of course, results in the AIF06 being backwards compatible to the AIF04. One pin's function is different in the AIF06, and that is pin 10. This termination pin provides the resistor-coded PM bus address for the AIF06, and also provides the phase shift angle for the AIF06 if more than 2 units are used in a current share application. Beyond this, only 2 operational functions are slightly different. The output voltage adjust resistor will be a different value, and the analog signals provided for monitoring purposes are different. please refer to the technical reference notes for the unit to describe these functions accurately. The traditional use of any PFC unit is to supply the 400 VDC to other downstream DC-DC converters, and the AIF06 is no exception. The output voltage and functions of the AIF06 are compatible with Artesyn's existing families of high-voltage DC-DC modules, the AIF300 and the AIH300 families. This factorized power conversion architecture makes the power supply suitable for a wide variety of designs, which are contact-cooled, highly power-dense, and very flexible in their design and approach. The AIF06 can be used in many different applications, either as a standalone 400 volts DC supply module or the power source for other DC-DC modules. It can be used in contact-cooled applications, where securing the baseplate of the unit to a temperature-controlled surface enables 100% of the power to be available, as long as the baseplate remains at less than 105 degrees Celsius, or heat sinks can be mounted to the units. There is a radiated noise screen available if needed. Applications for such a unit are wide and varied, with everything from the power supply of a tethered drone to X-ray equipment power sources, or insulation test to high-voltage motors and pumps. In summary, this family of AIF06 full bricks provides a vast improvement in performance, control, and monitoring functions over anything that has been available to date. All of these specification points enable a far simpler implementation of application design, but by retaining the same footprint, also provide a pathway to backwards compatibility. The fully encapsulated, highly reliable design approach is entirely applicable to the most demanding of applications, either standalone or in parallel with many other AIF06 modules. Thank you.